Hi everyone, welcome to Module 6. For Module 6, you're going to have discussion board number 5. We're going to be reading chapters 21 through 23, and I have some ancillary or extra readings for you to review as well in the syllabus. But for this week, you need to make sure to focus on the discussion board topic. And for the discussion board, your initial post is due by the first Thursday of the module opening, and your 2 peer responses are due by the end of the module. Also, you need to make sure to focus on your APA formatting, which includes an in-text citation and reference to support your work, and your peer responses can be to any of the questions that I post or to your peers as well. So let's go over some of the concepts we might see. So when we look at it, we're going to look at social insurance programs. And when we look at social insurance programs, we're going to be looking at the role of poverty. And poverty is very challenging for an economy to deal with. You're looking at poor people that are lacking the power to buy goods and services because of a restricted income level. And when we look at this restricted income level, this will cause a lot of strain on the government. And also another social program that we can focus on is the elderly. Elderly are classified as a certain age. And when we look at a certain age, this will bring about a lot of challenges for the government as well. And the government has to bring about support for these individuals. And another social program is the disabled. The disabled have either temporarily or permanently unable to work. So those are another type of group that the government has to support. When we look at another social program is health programs. And these programs cover illness or welfare financing, but it's another type of program that the government will have to support and creates a lot of strain on the spending of the government. You'll also notice the government has to spend on unemployment. And the unemployment receive assistance due to temporary loss of work. And when we look at temporary loss of work, the government's supposed to support this entity by providing support in the economy. When you look at these entitlement programs, they're available to people that qualify. And when you look at people that qualify, these entitlement programs are programs that people do not want to get rid of, and they create a lot of challenges. So when we look at the program features, you're going to be looking at contribution levels, benefits, and determining levels for providers. When you look at the features of this, many are funded by tax collection, and when they're funded by tax collection, if the economy struggles, you'll notice that they struggle to bring about money. And when they struggle to bring about money, this will create challenges for an economy. And the economy will struggle with this because the lack of financing will create a lot of challenges. So those are some of the concepts that we're going to focus on in Chapter 21. Now in Chapter 22, we're going to be looking at comparing healthcare systems. And when we look at comparing healthcare systems, you notice that we bring about a lot of challenges because the comparison of healthcare systems doesn't show a lot of support for the U.S. economy. And when we look at other healthcare systems, there's a lot of debate about national healthcare systems. And when we look at the national healthcare systems, you notice that these economies will be facing government support, and the government support will create opportunities to bring about these national healthcare systems. And we look at cross-country comparisons. You look at European countries, you look at Canadian economies, they all are having the support of these national healthcare debates. And there's a different way of funding, but it's very hard to compare the effectiveness and efficacy of these healthcare systems. Now, when you look at Canada, Canada has a rate of 7.1, lower death rates than the United States at 8.0. Does that mean that the national healthcare system is better in Canada compared to the U.S.? It's a very tough analysis to bring about. But when we look at these comparisons, you want to compare them on the basis of how the economy is doing and the support that the economy has. Now in Chapter 23, we're going to be focusing on the role of reform. And reform is very important because reform is bringing about a way to effectively bring changes to a system that might be broken. And it has to be viewed as broken. The economy has to provide necessary support. So the basic issues in reform that we look at is service coverage. So when we look at related issues, there's going to be cost sharing. We're going to be looking at cost reform. We're going to be looking at health care reform, government funding, insurance bases. All of these are very important to focus on. Now, the cost of universal coverage. And when we look at the cost of universal coverage, we have to look at, can the U.S. support universal coverage through the system that they have set up right now? And if they can provide the support, that'll bring about a lot of changes. And that's something that's very important. So these are some of the concepts that we're going to be looking at this week. Please focus on the due dates. Make sure to focus on the support in your discussion board and really focus on your analysis. And if you have any questions, let me know, as I'm more than willing to assist.